Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am excited to give you a follow-up on what God is putting on my heart since I quit my 9-to-5 job and have gone full-time into entrepreneurial mode. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of this video because I am going to be sharing what is holding you back from stepping into your dream life. I have some encouraging words and things that God is showing me that I know will change your life like it's changing mine. Before we get into it, make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel. It helps me continue to put out content just like this, and it would mean the world to me. Today, I'm going to take you back to the beginning, and it all started with this book that I am holding right here, and it is called The Pen. It is probably the most life-changing book I have ever read in my entire life. So it's called Mightier Than the Sword, The Pen: How to Use the Power of Words to Transform the World. And it's by Rose Weiner, and one that started to give me this revelation into imagination and creativity in God's design for our lives. So I'm going to fast forward to this week because everything is really coming full circle for me in the revelation of what it takes to truly do something with your life that leaves a legacy and is something to be remembered. Now, if that's not something that you're trying to do, then this video might not be for you. But I think that all of us innately, whether on a micro or macro level, have a desire to make a lasting impact. And that might be in the lives of our, sphere of influence. That might be in the entire world. You might be written about in the history books or told about with scientific discovery, or your art might hang on people's walls. I mean, whatever that looks like for you, whatever your passions and desires are, maybe that's people getting cozy and reading your book that you wrote, and the fact that you've become a New York Times best-selling author, whatever that looks like for you, I am going to share with you how to make that dream a reality. And it is something that is just stirring me up right now, and I'm so passionate about it, if you can't tell. I want to talk about something that I'm realizing. And this isn't what I'm going to teach you today. These concepts aren't just for entrepreneurs. They're not just for the creatives. This is for everybody. Whether you're in business, whether you're a teacher, whether you are an art student, whether you're a singer, this is for everybody. So part of what I do, I run my family's social media marketing, and I also just started my life coaching business and a myriad of other things that I'm working on. But I edit my husband's business podcasts. He works in commercial real estate, and he sits down with business leaders and experts, and they go through their origin stories and how they got to where they are today. Now, I've noticed this one theme going across all of these people that he talks to, and that theme is that all of them talk about how finding what you love to do, becoming an entrepreneur, or venturing out to do like something that is maybe out of the box. It is all about a journey of self-discovery and purpose. And they talk about how when they entered their respected fields, they went into a certain job and they looked at each step, whether it was a massive failure, a small win, a mistake, a critique, whatever it was, as a step in the right direction towards that fulfilling, purpose-filled life that they were going after. And whether that was, for some of these guys, they were brokers and they started out in, industrial commercial real estate, being a broker, and then they saw so many, mistakes that the company they worked for, or there was something with the culture they didn't love. And so that became their passion and purpose. And what they do is they think about the end goal, the long-term goal. And then when you have in your mind every day, let's say that I'm going to read to you an example, because this is also something that I'm reading about in a book right now. So this is in the book, The Power of One's Subconscious Mind. I'm pretty sure it's called. I'll link it down below. And it says, there was an article published some years ago about Flagler, an oil magnate. He admitted that the secret of his success was his ability to see a project in its completion. For instance, in his case, he closed his eyes, imagined a big oil industry, saw trains running on tracks, heard whistles blowing, and saw smoke. Having seen and felt the fulfillment of his prayer, his subconscious mind brought about its realization. If you imagine an objective clearly, you will be provided with the necessities in ways you know not of, through the wonder-working power of your subconscious mind. In considering the 3 steps to success, you must never forget the underlying power of the creative forces of your subconscious mind. What these businessmen that my husband talks to are doing is just that. In their minds, they are envisioning an end goal. And each step they take along the way, whether that leads them to a failure or an award, accolades, there we go, accolades, or whatever it is, like a nasty email, like they view all of those things as a stepping stone forward, an opportunity to learn. They welcome in failure because they allow that to push them forward into the next thing. So with that being said, I also want to read a passage here from the pen, which was the one I just showed you. And it talks about Allen Ginsberg. So the concept is that the greatest creators of all time have one thing in common. What they create, they get lost in. So Allen Ginsberg once said, if we never get lost in it, that which we are trying to create, we will never discover anything new about ourselves in the process. We lose the chance to live in our works and make habitable the new world which every person may discover in themselves if they live, which is life itself, past, present, and future. And so these concepts are something that I have been meditating on day in and day out. And whether you are hesitating to make that post on social media because you're worried about what people think about you, whether you are looking to make a business decision that maybe people that you talk to think is kind of outrageous or silly, or you have that dream of creating this thing and you feel like you're not good enough, what all of these people have in common is a passion, a purpose, a journey of self-discovery and realization that propels them forward towards the end goal. So what I want you to do as kind of a little action step from this video is every night before you go to bed and every morning just as you wake up, that is when your subconscious mind is the most pliable. And so why that's important is because what we believe in our minds comes to pass. If we believe that we aren't good enough, then those dreams and goals you have won't come to pass because you are operating out of the place of seeing that end goal come to pass, which is what all these people are doing. They're training their subconscious mind to see the end goal, to see the result, and then their mind finds a way to make that come to pass. So what I want you to do is I want you to think through what it is that you are praying and what you're believing for. And as you go to sleep at night, I want you to lay down, and just as you are about to fall asleep and you're drowsy and you're at peace, I want you to picture as clear in your mind with your imagination as possible that end result for you. That picture hanging on the wall, that book on the bookshelf at Barnes and Nobles, that classroom filled with children who are learning and excelling beyond your wildest imaginations. Whatever that is, I want you to picture it with clarity and with peace in your heart. And then as you wake up, I want those same thoughts to come to your mind, and then walk into that in your day. So now I'm going to talk to you about the common stumbling block of entering into that reality that you're picturing in your mind. And maybe that's financial freedom or that creative thought. Again, we already went through that. The most common stumbling block is envy, and that's what the power of one subconscious mind talks about. And it says that there is one emotion which is the cause of the lack of wealth in the lives of many. Most people learn this the hard way. It is envy. To entertain envious thoughts is devastating because it places you in a very negative position. Therefore, wealth flows from you instead of to you. And I think this goes to anything. What if you have a dream and you are seeing other people already walking in that in their life, and you are envious of them and you are talking bad about them, that will 100% keep you from entering into that yourself. So let that go, bless them, bless the work of their hands. And anytime those envious thoughts come, just take those thoughts captive and replace it with a positive thought to neutralize out that negativity. Okay, the second stumbling block is the fact that your subconscious is always controlled by the dominant idea. Your subconscious will always accept the strongest of two contradictory propositions. The effortless way is the better, which is why I was telling you earlier about when you're going to sleep and you're in that restful state to imagine that end goal in sight. You avoid all conflict between your desires and imagination by entering into a drowsy, sleepy state, which brings all effort to a minimum. The conscious mind is submerged to a great extent when in a sleepy state. The best time to impregnate your subconscious is prior to sleep. The reason for this is that the highest degree of outcropping of the subconscious occurs prior to sleep and just after we awaken. So I hope this video has been encouraging to you. Make sure that you stay tuned for the next video, because I am going to share with you some inspirational pieces of work that inspire me and I know will inspire you in your journey of self-realization and purpose along this pilgrimage of life from fear